Okay, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, August 17th, and I'm excited to share with you some of my tips on how we know to use On Guard, but I want to share with you how to simplify using On Guard in your life. And then also a couple of tips on how to make your own stuff when On Guard products are sold out, or what other things you can use. I'm quickly saved some graphics to my phone and didn't share them to my computer. So let me quickly do this while I talk to you and show you what I've got. So really quickly. And I sent one of those to you guys on the text. Hopefully you guys saw that on the text reminder. And if you're not on Remind, actually I want to talk really quickly. Betty mentioned this before. Getting on the call. We use the same meeting ID every week. So if you come to Zoom on your phone or your computer and you go to join, where you can click the join button and then type in your meeting ID, it has in a drop-down menu, if you click a little arrow going down, it will have a drop-down menu of the previous meetings that you've been in. I found this recently, and I just wanted to share that because that's pretty cool that you don't always have to remember it. You can just click that. Our passcode, if it requires one, is just the Monday, I believe. Is it singular? I think I did just Monday, singular, just it's the Monday morning call. That way you can hop right on there and we won't have issues. You can also hop in on your phone, and I try to include a phone number, and it's the same thing. You have to enter the meeting ID, and then you also need to enter a passcode. Now when you're calling in from your phone, the passcode is different than Monday. It's a numerical passcode, and let me tell you really quickly. I think I included that in the text, but let me tell you what that one is. So the passcode, if you're dialing in from your phone, is 414533. So obviously if you're in here, you figured out how to get in here, but this is also for those who watch the recording who may not have gotten on and may have had issues. We did switch from free conference call over to Zoom because more people are familiar with Zoom, and we just wanted to streamline everything and just kind of make it simpler for everyone. So if you're struggling and none of that is helping you, please reach out to whomever invited you on the call so that we can help make sure that you get in here live. It's a lot of fun when we have discussion and we have your questions and your add-ons when we do this live. So really quickly, this week, last week we kind of talked about the product of the month. Hopefully you got that. If not, it's 2 days late. You always want to do your order by the 15th if possible. Even if you're doing a smaller order, I always recommend leaving it set for the 15th for that month that you do bump it up so that you can get the free product. And lately, I love that they've been offering us oils that we can't typically get singly. And that caraway is especially helpful. If you look at the things that doTERRA offers, whether it's the product of the month or the specials for the month, it's actually really pertinent to whatever's going on right now. So just pay attention to those, because even when we have to be super compliant, we do like just having the knowledge that doTERRA knows what's going on. They know what we need, and that's typically what they offer. If you didn't get caraway, just know that you can also get that in DigestSense. So I always recommend that. If there's an oil you need and we don't have it singly, at least use a blend that contains that, and you'll be getting it that way. So, okay, my tips and tricks for using On Guard throughout the day. We're all getting back to work, back to school. Maybe not all of us, I shouldn't say that. Maybe we're slowly getting there. And maybe people in our lives are going back to work and back to school. And we want to help keep our immune system strong. We know that we'll encounter viruses, not just what's going on in the world right now, but just every virus that goes around every year. We are exposed to different things, and we want to, when we're exposed, we want our body to be prepared to take care of those things. So we know, like, staying hydrated and getting good sun and that vitamin D. Also, by the way, if you didn't know, when you wear sunscreen out in the sun, you don't produce vitamin D. You don't absorb what you need to produce it. So you need a little bit of time in the sun without sunscreen. So if you're an avid sunscreen user, give yourself even 15 minutes out in the sun during a time of the day that you won't burn to get some of that exposure so that you can produce that vitamin D. Most of us are deficient, and that's really vital for our immune system. And getting the sun and producing it ourselves is way better for our body than actually taking a vitamin D supplement, which I think most of us know. If we can get it in a more natural way, then that's typically ideal and better for our body. So, okay, let me share really quickly what I've got here. If I can open this up bigger, perhaps. So talking about On Guard products, we have an entire family. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
You could make those bigger. Hold on, let's do this. Just kidding, we'll just leave it here. So we have an entire family of On Guard products for good reason. This is where it's our protective blend. This is, you can see it on everything, right? Protective blend soft gels, protective blend. Anyway, all of these things are protective. In fact, we used to, when we would order the On Guard throat drops, I couldn't even pull them up by On Guard. I had to type in protective throat drops. So, or protecting throat drops. So wide array. So no matter what your needs are, there's something here that meets those. So On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, really great way to clean your house. Make it up in a spray bottle, use it when you clean your dishes. It's funny, on the side of the label, it took me a couple of years to realize I can use that as dish soap. So at least I can admit that there are things I don't know, and I've been using these for years, but I love the cleaner concentrate. It's so cheap. It's like $15, a little bit less. And you can make up great spray bottles in different concentrations for whatever you're cleaning. And you get the benefits of On Guard everywhere. And if your kids lick it, you're okay. They're crawling around and touching it, clean your floors, clean your countertops, whatever, it's okay. It's not like some of the other products we have out there that we have to be more careful, making sure that our kids don't touch or lick it while it's still wet. The laundry detergent, keep in mind that's 6 times concentrated. So even though it looks really tiny, you get a lot out of that. And that's a great way to clean your clothes. It has enzymes in it, some really great things in there to help with like grass stains and blood stains and anything else. You need enzymes in your detergent to actually break that down. Plus it has a full, I believe 10 mils. If I read that correctly on my bottle, I looked at that the other day. I always thought it was a 5 milliliter, but I think it's 10 milliliters of On Guard in that full bottle. What I've done, because I have children who want to use a lot, is I have broken that down into 3 large spray bottles, 32-ounce spray bottles, and topped it off with water. So I basically just poured a third of the laundry detergent into each of those 3 spray bottles. I bought a 3-pack on Amazon or eBay somewhere, and filled it the rest away with water to then add the water that I'm not buying from doTERRA, which is great. And then we can pump it in there. And I just use 5 to 7 pumps in my washing machine, and that does it. It's amazing. If you use too much of that, especially if you have an HE, which a lot of us do these days, I think a lot of them are going to the high energy or the energy efficient, however they're calling that. If you use too much detergent, the water won't rinse it away, and you'll find that the detergent will stay in your clothing and stuff will cling to it, just like if you left soap all over the place. So make sure that you're just using a tiny bit. And then On Guard toothpaste, that one's self-explanatory. Just use that every day. Such a great way to protect ourselves with a little bit of On Guard every day. The mouthwash. Let me tell you about the mouthwash really quickly. It's one of my favorite things. It right now, I believe, is out of stock. So if you have some, great, use it. If you don't have it, well, let me back up. Use it and then also carry it with you. And how do you carry it with you? There are a couple of different options. Actually, Trisha has a really fantastic one. I'll explain in a second, but I have a 1/2 ounce little spray bottle. I like to carry it with me and spritz, because using it more often, right, throughout the day is more beneficial than just using it morning and night. So if you don't have access to the bathroom while you're at work or wherever, and you don't have your On Guard mouthwash in there with you at work or at school, I send my kids with this. They can spritz after lunch. They can spritz just whenever, especially if you had things like soda and all. The mouth is the gateway to the body, and we can benefit our body a ton with what we do in our mouth and with our mouth. So carry this with you and spritz your mouth. Give yourself that added protection. However, if you cannot get the mouthwash right now, let me just pause screen sharing for a second so that I can make this bigger. You can make your own. And let me tell you, it's not just water and On Guard in the mouthwash. There's another key ingredient in there, and it's xylitol. And it's funny because xylitol is used as a sweetener. However, xylitol has some really great benefits, and it can break down biofilms. And to simplify that, different pathogens will create a protective barrier because they want to survive and they don't want to be gotten rid of. And that's called a biofilm, and it gets sticky and yucky, and there are not many things on the planet that will break down that biofilm. So when you're struggling with cavities or you're struggling with being sick or whatever it is, adding that xylitol to your mouthwash that you make yourself will make it exponentially better than just the water and oils. So what I would do is I would take either a ½ ounce or a full ounce spray bottle, whatever you can get a hold of. I've got, where'd my other one go here? Oh, it's right here. I mean, whatever size you can get. I love these ombre ones. I got that at Oil Life. They're just so pretty. There's also an option if you want something that fits in a roller spot. You can take a roller from Aroma Tools, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Trisha, but Aroma Tools has roller bottles with tiny spray tops. So it's a 10 mil, fits perfectly, slipped right into your roller spots if you've got oil carrying cases and all. Such a great idea, so simple and fits in there perfectly. And how I would make it is take xylitol if you have some, or if you don't have xylitol on hand, grab your PB Assist Junior. There's a reason they put xylitol in these. And these you can order. As far as I know, these are still in stock. This is a great option to use daily, whether you're an adult or a child. My kids love these. I have to hide them. They only get one a day. So it is really tasty. And this is something that I use also. It has different strains of good bacteria. So it's a really great option to use the PB Assist and the PB Assist Junior. So you can just tear this open and pour it into your spray bottle. Then I would do this first, because if you fill it with water first, you may run out of room. So fill it, put the xylitol in there, the xylitol PB Assist Junior. You can do, I would do one if I'm doing a ½ ounce. I would do 2 of these if I'm doing a full ounce. But you can decide how much you want. And I would then add the oils I want. Now you can add On Guard and do a great option, like On Guard, right? I would probably add at least 10 drops to this of On Guard. You can play with it and make it the as strong as you want it. I also personally love a really minty, fresh flavor for me. And so I like to boost even my mouthwash with peppermint. There's a little bit of peppermint in it, but I like to add more. So you could even do peppermint. It's a great antiviral. You could do 10 drops of peppermint instead if you prefer with this, and then top it off with water. Shake it up and get it dissolved really well, and you've got a great on-the-go mouthwash. If you want to do a larger container of it, just kind of take those amounts and make them bigger. I have a larger family, so I like to do everything a little bit bigger, so I'm not doing it all the time, like every day remaking something. I also did happen to stock up on the mouthwash before. And fun fact, the ADA has recommended, in light of this pandemic, that dental practices use a mouthwash, an effective mouthwash, before they work on patients, just to help take down the exposure that they might be exposed to, like all the aerosols and all that come up and get flying off your teeth and all, and your gums when they work on you. Just like we say, right? Kind of want to keep our distance or wear a mask or whatever you prefer. That's something that they're recommending. So it tells you the benefits of using a really great mouthwash, which this is, for, I thought I had a bottle right here, but anyway, it's pictured in this other picture. If you want to help protect your body, right? And then let me open this back up. So we've got the mouthwash there on the far left. We talked about these things. The On Guard oil, diffuse that all the time if you can. That's a really great one, especially as we enter into the fall. Having it diffusing is an easy way, simple way to not have to mess with it every day. I have an Aroma Ace diffuser. I love that thing. If you're diffusing in something else, just store the bottle right next to the diffuser. Put a bottle of water there, whatever you use to fill it up. Make it simple so that it's easy to fill and you have that every day to give everybody that protection. Taking an On Guard Plus soft gel, I believe those are in stock right now. Some of these go in and out, so it just depends on what's available. So, but taking an On Guard soft gel every day to help protect if you are especially at high risk. If you can't get the On Guard soft gels, I used the GX Assist when I was really low on Guard Plus. So the GX Assist, some people have called On Guard's big brother. So that's another option. We think of it for cleansing, but it's also a really great protective one if you look at the oils that are in there. The beadlets, which go in and out of stock right now, but they're such a great option with that tiny little, I want to say it's a 1/4 drop of On Guard in there. Pop that in the mouth, send your kids out the door. It's so great just to get that little boost every day. On Guard 10 mil roller. I love that it's already in a diluted form to roll down the spine, roll on the back of the neck, bottoms of the feet, whatever works for you to simplify your day. The throat drops. So easy. I love these. I have these in a candy dish by my front door so that my kids can grab these on the way out the door, on the way in the door. They are fantastic. You just suck on that. It's got the On Guard in there, and that's going to really help. If you don't prefer the On Guard, the Breathe ones are a really great option. My kids were not huge fans of the On Guard flavor, so they use Breathe. And guess what's in the Breathe lozenges? Melissa oil. So on top of all the goodness that's in Breathe, you also get Melissa, which is a fantastic antiviral, help boost that immune system that way. And I just have a blend of, actually I have those plus the ginger ones in a bowl by my front door. So no matter what somebody needs, they're right there, they can grab them. I want, just put these in your life where it's convenient so that you can actually use these things that you've purchased. Foaming hand wash goes in and out of stock. There's a really great recipe to make your own on doTERRA blog. If you go to the doTERRA.com website and search for a DIY on the foaming hand wash, you can make your own if you've got Castile soap. But the other cool thing is you can make it with On Guard, but you can also make it with whatever. In fact, recently I used my foaming hand wash refill bottle and made Citrus Bloom hand lotion, or hand wash, because I was running low. So you can do that with that foaming hand wash and make your own. And then, of course, it just shows the pump there. But the sanitizing mist also goes in and out of stock for good reason. The sanitizing mist is great for hands, but also for surfaces. If you're a fan of spraying down your doorknobs, your toilet handles, you know, all the things that everybody's touching constantly just to kind of freshen it, clean it, and keep people healthy, that sanitizing mist is great. Also, wait, I think there's a recipe on the blog. Somebody tell me, is there a recipe for that one? If not, there are loads of recipes for making your own sanitizing mist. doTERRA's uses a really great form of alcohol. I believe it's like a grain alcohol, ethyl alcohol, that could actually be consumed. It's not poisonous, it's not toxic. Don't use it in your mouth. I've heard people use it in their mouth. Please don't use it in your mouth. Alcohol-based mouthwashes actually lead to oral cancer, so please don't use that one in your mouth. But you can make it if you'd like to use that to sanitize surfaces in your hands and all. It's just a really great form. You'd have to buy that, you know, in the alcohol section, not the rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is great in a pinch, but it was actually never intended or never studied for use on skin. So just a heads up, I learned that. I used to use rubbing alcohol all the time. Now I don't. So those are my tips for that. I also want to talk about Stronger. This is basically the Kids On Guard. It's in the kids collection, and as far as I've seen, it's not sold out this entire time. This has different oils in it. Sometimes you will respond better to different oils, and this one's already diluted for kids. It's so great. This actually has rose in it, so if you want rose as a great protective one as well. It's got some different, like I said, different oils. It has coconut oil base, it has cedarwood, Litsea, which we also cannot buy, frankincense, and rose. This is such a great protective blend for kids and for adults. So I love Stronger, and while we're talking about Stronger, I just want to mention that this month, sorry, this call's going to be a little bit long because I'm super excited about all this stuff. Not this month, today, doTERRA offered us Stronger in a non-diluted form with a Brevi diffuser. Now I have this one. I think this is the one for Mother's Day. They often change it up and give us different options. The one that they're releasing today as a limited time offer with a 5 milliliter. Let's see if I can hop over here and share that image with you. I may not have that image right here. Hold on. Let me hop over and show you where that is or what it looks like. I'm just gonna hop into my Facebook group if I can and show you the image of what that looks like. But this is a really great option. There are people who are allergic to coconut oil, and so for those people, this is a great option to get a hold of Stronger, because prior to this, we've not had the option to diffuse Stronger. Like if you have an aroma ace, you can't put a coconut oil in there. You have to put, look, I'm gonna let you guys in my group here. Here we go. Maybe, come on. I guess my computer feels like it's Monday also. So there you go. So the Brevi diffuser, it just really looks like a little Echo Dot type speaker. So it blends in well. It's tiny. It runs for 10 hours, unless I've changed that. Nope, still 10 hours. So you can get that Brevi diffuser and Stronger, that little 5 milliliter. I'm buying it. Who can't use another diffuser, and who doesn't need Stronger in a 5 milliliter? I kind of hope they release all of the kids collection in 5 mil, because then I could diffuse all of those. Anyway, love that. And then while we're in here, and I've got this image here, if I can make this bigger, maybe not. The other thing that they're offering today is Harvest Spice. We are getting into fall. Harvest Spice is a great oil. It's just that fall yumminess. Let me tell you what's in here because I've got it right in front of me. So we've got the cassia, the clove, which of course cassia is like a cinnamon, kind of a distant relative of cinnamon. Clove, eucalyptus, cedarwood, nutmeg, which we can't get in a single oil. And I don't know any other blend that has that. And then some cinnamon in it as well. So you've got this great blend and the Pilot diffuser that's so handy. Take it on the go. You can put it in your cup holder in the car. It's such a great diffuser to take with you. And that, when it first came out around leadership time, sold out super fast. In fact, I didn't grab one before it was sold out. So these two things are available. Let me look at the pricing really quickly here. So the kids Brevi, which they said is supposed to somehow match the kids collection. I'm assuming that the colors of the lights that it goes through match the kids collection, but I'll have to wait and see what I get and what it actually does. But that is $44 wholesale for those two items together. And then the Harvest Spice with the Pilot diffuser is $55 wholesale. So great options there. They're probably going to sell out, so get yours today. They just released those this morning. And moving right along, I mentioned PB Assist Junior. Be taking those daily if you can. These are great to throw in your purse on the go. Like I said, I want to make everything easy for you, and how I do this, I have them in my backpack or my purse in my car, wherever it's handy for you to keep these, and then you can just open them and take them whenever you need. I started feeling a little bit of something coming on yesterday, the day before, and so I just got on my oils right away, and I love the convenience of this, where I don't have to wait until I'm horribly sick to decide am I going to the doctor or not. Before I get to that point, I can start with my oils, and I can make sure I clean up my eating and my behavior so that I can stay healthy. And I don't usually get fully sick anymore because I'll use the Stronger, I'll use the PB Assist, and I use these different things that are super handy on the go and all around me. And just keep them, like I said, in convenient places. Trying to look here and make sure, see if I forgot anything I want to talk about today. I want to share this again. Let me hop back over to my email where I've got these images that I can show you. Wrong one. Here we go. Let me scroll through. I just want to show you some of the benefits of PB Assist. So PB Assist, you can see those little capsules. They look really cool. It's basically a capsule inside of a capsule, the little green one inside of a clear one. And it uses that double layer capsule to provide benefits of prebiotics and probiotics. If you're taking a probiotic that does not have a prebiotic in it, your probiotic is not live. It has to feed on that prebiotic in order to stay live, and we're wanting live cultures, right? And back in the day, we used to use acidophilus, right? That was the one, but this has 6 strains of friendly probiotics that will live in the gut, which is where basically our health is, right? Supports the health of the GI tract, especially the intestines and colon. The gut is the key to everything, and it's like we're finally waking up to this, that the gut is so amazing for our physical health and our emotional health. This is such a great option to help support that. And if you don't like taking pills, that's where I also love, oops, there we go. The PB Assist Junior, you guys try it. It really tastes good. I know it's for the kids. It says Junior, but I do it all the time. I give it to my grandbaby. She's almost 2. We give it to her. You can put it in a drink. You see that in the bottom. You can pour it directly in your mouth, kind of like a pixie stick. That's what my kids call it, a PB Pixie. And it's sweet, so they love that. But you can put that directly in your mouth or mix it with 4 ounces of water or juice or whatever you've got. Shake it up, stir it into yogurt, whatever works for your child or yourself, do that and get this into your system. These are also microencapsulated. You saw that double pill. So these will get to your gut instead of getting digested away in the stomach. So that's really exciting because obviously, like I just said, you want to get it to the gut. So, and also, if you're not a fan of carrying the mouthwash with you, then carry this with you. You're still getting really great benefits of the xylitol that's going to help break down biofilms so that your body can attack those things that it was intended to attack and those yucky pathogens and all. Okay, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. Does anybody remember anything I said I would talk about today that I've forgotten? Try not to go too long. I could talk all day, you guys. I'm sorry. But I think those were my favorite tips. Let me give you one more, just because I have it here and I used this last night. I'm a fan of reusing my bottles, and I got these fun pumps for lotion tops. Sometimes a lotion is easier than using coconut oil in a roller, especially like I use this on my chest. I took an old Breathe bottle, maybe you can see that, an old Breathe bottle. I added geranium to it because this is kind of our go-to for respiratory stuff and opening things up and breaking up congestion. So I took whatever was left in there, probably added a few more drops of Breathe, so maybe 10 drops in here, added a couple of drops of geranium, and then filled it with the unscented lotion. I don't have right in front of me either. There's an unscented lotion you can get from doTERRA. So you can get fractionated coconut oil or unscented lotion. And I filled it up with that, and it's literally, it pumps out. Let me see if I can do this. It's a lotion right there. And that's easy, and I just smear this all over my chest, which I'll probably do again. And then it's got that Breathe and the geranium in there, and I can breathe really well. I can feel that congestion and kind of stuffiness. And so if I can do this lotion all day, even if you just put it on your hands and breathe it in, and then make sure you wash your hands before touching your eyes because the Breathe has that peppermint and all in it. But this is just a handy way to have it stored. And like I said, this is my old Breathe bottle. So when I was ready to open a new one, instead of tossing that, I grabbed some of those pump tops. I want to say I got those at Got Oil Supplies. There are a couple different places. I just so you guys know where I got the things. I don't want you to have to come back later. And if you want any recipes I mentioned, you're welcome to message whomever and we'll get those to you. But the lotion is so handy for me to carry with me. It's already ready to go. I'm not having to mix something up right there and then use it. And this will last a very long time. And then I just refill it when we need more. So these are my favorite tips for staying healthy, some of the ways that we can use these things. And I love all the various forms so that you can use what works for you and your family to stay healthy. I would rather prevent, and I'd rather build up our immune system so we're ready when we are exposed, as opposed to waiting and then using the oils then. I think we have these at our fingertips. Use them. If you're concerned because you don't have On Guard or some of those products, like I said, peppermint, most of us have, is a great antiviral. My daughter's gotten through influenza using that, supporting her body, just sitting in a room with peppermint diffusing. And we didn't know what she had, but she just did that all week long. And at the end of the week, she got tested and she totally had influenza. And I know that peppermint helped support her body and helped her body do what it needed to while she was recovering. So lots of options there. That geranium, get geranium. It's not the greatest smell to me. Some people love it, but it works amazingly well. And it's kept us off breathing treatments for 7 years now. So, oh, whoa. Betty just commented and I missed it. Let me see, what did it say? We had On Guard. Yes, I love that. Okay, so I don't love the spray of the On Guard sanitizing mist. Thank you, Betty. Betty asked if we could add On Guard to the lotion for hand cleaning. That's actually what I do. Here in Utah, it's so dry that if I put alcohol on my kids' hands for back to school or whenever, it dries out their hands worse and we crack and bleed. And so for years, I've loved adding the On Guard. So take an old On Guard bottle or whatever bottle you have, add some lotion to it, put the pump top on there and use that as a sanitizer for your hands, as a cleaner for your hands. Yeah, I've used that for years and love it. Or I've taken their little bottle of lotion, like a travel bottle of lotion of whatever type, and I'll add On Guard to that and shake it up really well. And that's literally what I've done for years for my kids when they've had to take hand sanitizer to school. That's what I've done. I love that Betty said, or a small jar, whatever you've got. I don't need you to run out. I don't want you to have to run out and buy something new. Use what you have. Put it in a lotion. If you don't have an unscented lotion, use a really lightly scented lotion until you get your unscented lotion. Use what you've got. Use an old lotion bottle, whatever you have, and add it to there. And then you've got a great option with that On Guard and use that. Does anybody else have any questions or tips? Please jump in. Nobody? I must be amazing if nobody has any other tips other than what I've shared. I'm just kidding. Hey, if you think of questions or comments later, please share them. Betty, you're sweet. Please share them with us. Jump on the call next week. We do these Monday morning, 10 a.m., as long as we don't have technical difficulties. Sorry it was late today because Zoom told my computer it had to restart. But here we are. So please jump on. I love sharing my tips and tricks. It's one of my favorite things to learn from other people is we know a lot about the oils and the products, but sometimes the tips and tricks just make it so much easier to incorporate them into our lives. So if you have something to share, you're watching the recording or whatever, and you want to jump on next week, please jump on and share. I plan to share more about immunity. I don't know exactly what I want to talk about, but if you have a comment on something you'd like to learn more about regarding all of this kind of back to school, back to work, back to fall, and heading into a new, I mean, we know fall time, we head into new sixth season, right? There are going to be lots of things that we're exposed to. We want to stay healthy. I could go more in depth into breathe products or something next week if you'd like. We've got some really great options. We don't always just need to use On Guard. So maybe I'll kind of twist it next week. I'll let you guys know on that text what's coming. But thank you for joining us, whether you join us live or on the recording. Thank you so much, and have a great week.